In 1908, US cities began to use chlorine to disinfect its drinking water. And to ensure chlorine levels were safe, the utility would take grab samples from the distribution system. Fast forward today, around 98% of water systems in America use chlorine in their disinfection process. And guess what? They still sample residuals the same way they did over 100 years ago. It's no wonder that recently over 63 million Americans were exposed to unsafe drinking water. And for over a century, water utilities have performed routine sampling to answer a timeless question: what's going on? And specifically, what's going on in my distribution system right now? I want you to meet Darren. He's one of our clients. Darren's seen here flushing the system to increase chlorine residual levels in the northeast part of the city, where the demand for water is lower than expected. But prior to actually taking this action, Darren had to drive 13.2 miles to this location, turn on a spigot, take a grab sample using a kit, record it on a piece of scratch paper, determine the corrective action to take, drive back to the treatment plant, log it onto a notepad, and maybe it made it to Excel. Listen, you get the idea. It's a really, really cumbersome process. And Darren, along with countless of other techs across the nation, do this every single day. Something has to change. We've arrived at a point in time where utility managers can either let these macro trends continue to create unbearable pressures on their operations, or they can change the way they do things. And Varuna knows that water system managers will opt for the latter, and that means using data. Varuna is reimagining how to use data to run a sustainable and resilient water utility. And we enable water operators to see beyond the fence of the water treatment plant into their distribution system. We do this by deploying nodes that are outfitted with water quality sensors, and the data is then transmitted to the cloud, where we run analysis and provide situational awareness to the operator so they can make the best decision about where to spend their time and money. So now the operator has visibility across the distribution system to understand what's happening in real time with things like chlorine residuals, pressure, and turbidity. And in Darren's case, with enough data, we can begin to predict contaminant shocks and recommend optimal remediation workflows. Varuna is focusing on small to medium-sized utilities in the 2 states you see in front of you, as they represent our beachhead market. And it's paying off. Since the pandemic brought the US economy to a screeching halt in March of 2020, we've gained 5 new customers. We've been selected to the Urban Water Challenge. We were awarded a grant from Google, and we've signed an MOU with the largest water company in Mexico, as well as a global engineering firm. And to top it off, we've secured a term sheet from Corazon Capital as we move to raise a seed round. We're repeat founders, having sold our first startup, Power to Switch, about 5 years after it was founded. And we're supported by an amazing group of advisors like Johan Schwinn, who's a savant when it comes to practical IoT design, especially in the water space. Aside from our team, Varuna's unfair advantage is in our systems thinking approach to building software in our price segment match that allows us to provide more value than our competitors and do so at a reasonable price. We're excited about receiving the Urban Water Challenge Award because it helps unlock the vision we have for Varuna and for the water industry. And part of that vision includes enabling cities to deploy advanced technology that helps underserved and underrepresented populations. And 2, also just eliminating the inequities associated with access to clean water. And with that in mind, we'll deploy a full Varuna system in these 2 cities to achieve that vision. Now, if we're successful, we can change the way utilities operate, ultimately enabling them to consistently deliver clean drinking water to all citizens. We're raising a $1 million seed round led by Corazon Capital, and we'll use these funds to get us to our next milestone of working with 20 water utilities to give them visibility, awareness, and insight of what's happening throughout their distribution system. Water utilities understand there's too much at stake for them not to know what's going on in real time, and Varuna is helping get them to that future state. If you're interested in joining us on this journey, we'd love to chat with you. Thank you.